It's time for KOVC Sports.
And welcome everyone here back to the Jamestown Civic Center for one last time as Valley City gets set to square off with the South Prairie Max Royals for the Class A Girls State Basketball title. Jerry Edwards with you all today here on the Voice of the Valley, 1490 AM, 96.3 FM, KOVC. And this is our Valley City State University pregame show. Well, if you're looking at the road traveled for both teams, it has been a relatively smooth road for both teams, but one that has been rockier on this last end than the others. For South Prairie Max, they came into this year, a lot of expectations. Number one team in the state despite finishing second to Valley City last year, coming in as the number one team in the state. And then started off the year with a loss to unranked Carrington on the road. Now, Carrington would, of course, go on to be a top 5 team this year in Class A basketball, but it raised a lot of questions, especially with a new coach who was brought in because the other one apparently wasn't getting the job done despite making back-to-back state semifinals. Now the new coach comes in. He loses his first game in charge. And then South Prairie Max proceeds to go on a 25-game win streak, which is just a outstanding accomplishment. In this 25-game win streak, they have been averaging 75.1 points per game. They've been allowing 37.2 points per game. And if you're going to chalk it all up to facing Class 3 or Region 3 and Region 4 opponents, West teams, note they held Thompson and Devils Lake to 36 and 34 points, respectively. The lowest amount of points they've scored in this run has been 55 points. They played one game that's been within single digits, and surprisingly enough, it was against Glenburn. To say that their name's been on the trophy for the past few years, for the past few months, has probably been an understatement. They are expecting to win this game. They are expecting to win big. That's how they play. Valley City's a team that has usually gotten a 30-point lead and has pulled their starters. South Prairie Max is a team that has kept the throttle down the entire year, putting up 101 points on a team at one point this year. Valley City very rarely probably breaks the 70-point threshold. Valley City has had a pretty, I don't want to say easy go of it, but it started off with a trip to Devils Lake, and that was a win, and then got to go home for the Barnes County Classic, or tournament, excuse me. And it was business as usual up until a loss to Lemoore. Well, it was early on in the year, and maybe it was just a fluke loss. And then Valley City would win some more games and then rematch with Thompson in Devils Lake. It was a back-to-back game. It was in Devils Lake. Thompson had been thinking about revenge for a year, and Thompson comes out and beats Valley City. And, again, you could understand the loss. Then they win some more games, and then they get to the best defensive team in the state in Carrington with nothing at stake and coming in banged up after a grueling game against Oak Grove. Again, a loss that you don't want to lose, a game you don't want to lose, but again, a game that you could understand losing. And then came the ununderstandable loss to Central Cass, a wake-up call of sorts that Valley City could indeed lose to a team that they weren't expected to lose to. And then for Wahpeton, they were absolutely outplayed for three quarters. The eulogy was being written down by 14 points going into the fourth. And then they showed a champion's resolve, outscoring Wahpeton 27-8 to rip that game away from the Huskies. They were down to 8 minutes left in the season, and they responded with the quarter of a lifetime. You then get to the play-in round, and they were going to have to beat somebody that beat them earlier in the year, Carrington. Now, that loss to Carrington, last game of the season, could best be explained as Valley City just out of gas. But they had to find something to beat Carrington, and for the most part, they did. For the most part, they played a very solid game against Carrington, and then the final 2 minutes came, Valley City holding a 10-point lead, and then Carrington would go on the run of a lifetime to take a slim lead, would take a 2-point lead, with 25 seconds remaining. Valley City was down to 25 seconds in a season. Now they were expected to get to at least the state semifinals. Down to 25 seconds. Katie Burchell would become Katie Burchell, would get an and one, and would help carry Valley City past a top 5 team in Carrington. So Valley City has managed to survive 8 seconds in a season, 25 seconds in a season, and 8 minutes left in a season. Now, well, for better or worse, there's only going to be 32 minutes left in this season. How it's going to be remembered by these players is going to all depend on the result. Again, South Prairie Max is a team that likely is going to be favored in this game. They've been favored in pretty much every game they played, even the loss to Carrington. They've been looking for this rematch for an entire year, like Thompson did earlier. Valley City has done a good job of winning rematches. Can they knock off a team that is seemingly unbeatable? Scotty Beck is going to be the leading scorer for the South Prairie Max Royals, 16.1 points per game. And Riley Rutledge, 12.8 points. She's had a bit of a slow state tournament. Brianna Rose, though, vying for all tournament team contention with 12 points a game in the regular season. She's had herself a fantastic state tournament as well. For Valley City, it's been the defense that has shined in this state tournament. At one point, their defense has locked down opponents enough to be able to go on a 17-0 run in both games. They did it against Devils Lake to start out the third quarter, and they did it over the tail end of the first quarter to the second quarter against the Thompson Tommies, where they held perhaps the most dangerous shooting team to only 2 points. And if you think that's an exaggeration, the Tommies just mercy ruled Kindred in the third place game because they could shoot it so well. So to say that the defense has been elite in the tournament for Valley City would be an understatement. Dakota Potratz is averaging about 11.5 points per game, but her defense has been spectacular. Who they're going to put on Scotty Beck is going to be the question. Last year was simple. You put Greta Govan on the other team's best player, and she was going to hold her to half her production. I don't know if you're going to be able to hold Scotty Beck to 8 points, but if you can keep her to 11 points, you have a chance to win this game. And Valley City's going to have to get to 60. I don't know if South Prairie Max is the type of team that can be held to 50 points. I think Valley City's going to have to expect that South Prairie Max is going to make some shots that nobody else has made on them this year. So it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. We'll be back here in a little bit with our VCSU pregame show right after this quick break. And we're back here with our Valley City State University pregame show, taking a look at our Sanford Health and Valley City scoreboard. About 4.5 minutes to go until we get to the pregame festivities between the Valley City Highliners and the South Prairie Max Royals. South Prairie coming in as the top-ranked team in not only the state but in this tournament. Valley City coming in as the 3 seed. And now let's get to our starting lineups being brought to you by Drug Plastics. We'll start off here with the South Prairie Max Royals. It'll be Riley Rutledge, second leading scorer on the team with 12.8 points per game, followed up by Macy Talbot. Scotty Beck, a first-team All-State consideration, definitely going to be on the All-Tournament team, possibly tournament MVP. She's getting 16.1 points per game. Brianna Rose, third leading scorer on the team and has played a phenomenal state tournament as well. Had to go retrieve a basketball. Sorry about the pause there, folks. It's hard to retrieve a basketball with one hand. And Abigail Mickelson, she has also had herself a pretty solid state tournament, gives them kind of some size down low. You take a look at the roster for this South Prairie Max team. A lot of 5'8" across the board. Kinley Schilla is 6'2" but does not play. Brianna Rose and Abigail Mickelson are the two, along with Scotty Beck, are the size of the team at 5'10" apiece. And also 6 foot Riley Rutledge, also there as well, 5'10". So if you look at a team that is designed like Valley City, it is South Prairie Max and possibly a team that is better shooting. Now we get to the Valley City side of things. Maddie Freeze, followed up by Katie Coca, Dakota Potratz, Katie Burchell, and Sky Nielsen. Katie Burchell with back-to-back 20-point double-doubles. Sky Nielsen has played great in this tournament as well, and Dakota Potrats has been a phenomenal defender. Maddie Freeze only got to, 8 points yesterday against Thompson, but she had 16 points in the win over Devils Lake, and her 2 3-pointers early on in the fourth quarter helped Valley City kind of, I would say, eat up some clock against Thompson while not allowing them to chew into the deficit very much. So you got 4 players for Valley City that have all had very good state tournaments. South Prairie Max, you got 3 players that have had some pretty good state tournaments here. Scotty Beck, Brianna Rose, Abigail Mickelson. But only one of these teams is going to leave Jamestown happy. Valley City wins, it'll be a party back in Valley City. If South Prairie wins, it'll be a party back in Minot. And Valley City looking to go back-to-back. And a season filled with expectations and a season filled with only losing 1 starter, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Valley City is a team that, like South Prairie, has had a lot of expectations put on them. And South Prairie Max is a team that has been in the same position Valley City has been. You kind of look at it, both teams that over the last 3 years have been to 2 state finals, and they've been to each of the last 3 Final Fours as well. It's very interesting to see how this one pans out. Will Valley City be able to repeat as champs, or is South Prairie Max finally going to cash in on their golden generation and, well, prove the board right for firing a coach that got to the state finals and got to the state semifinals and was given the axe? Jimmy Howard, after years and years of getting kicked around by schools with 3 times the enrollment of Valley City and 5 times the budget, he's been able to take a group of great seniors and get them to back-to-back state finals and hoping to make it back-to-back state championships. He's been given time to mold this team in his image, and now whether or not they can finish things off here today in Jamestown, good contingency of people from both Valley City and South Prairie Max, and we should have ourselves a phenomenal game today. So Valley City and South Prairie Max for the Class A state championship coming up here in just a little bit. We'll be back here with our opening tip. This has been our Valley City State University pregame show. Keep it right here on the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. As you can hear, the crowd is on its feet from both ends. South Prairie, again, a strong contingency coming. Valley City, of course, with its strong contingency. Only a short drive to Jamestown. Valley City, instead of electing to go home every single night, has elected to stay in Jamestown, trying to keep the kind of camaraderie, the feel of what they did last year, the same as before, even if it is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from back home. So Valley City taking on South Prairie Max. Will it be a back-to-back champion in the new 3-class format? Or will it be South Prairie Max finally coming down with a state championship after forming their new school in 2015 and pulling away Max from a co-op with Garrison in 2020? Only time will tell. And 8 minutes has been put up in the first quarter on our Sanford Health scoreboard. And it's going to be Katie Coca jumping instead of Katie Burchell. So it's going to be interesting here. Katie Burchell, I think I've covered most, if not all, the Valley City games this year. This is the first time I've seen her jump. I know this is a matchup strategy here by Jimmy Howard, trying to get Burchell a bit further down the court, potentially. Would not be surprised if you see Katie Burchell, who was an all-state caliber volleyball player, if she's going to try to almost spike it straight ahead to Katie Burchell, who's again going to have the kind of big frame and the size advantage and try to get the early 2 points. I would not be surprised if that is the case, where Jimmy Howard's putting a great volleyball player in Katie Burchell out for the jump ball to try to spike it towards Burchell and steal the first 2 points. So now as we wait for the ball to be brought in again by some of our fine service members from the North Dakota State National Guard. get to our starting lineups again one more time. Again, brought to you by Drug Plastics. For SPM, it's Riley Rutledge, Macy Talbot, Scotty Beck, Brianna Rose, and Abigail Mickelson. For Valley City, it's Maddie Freeze, Katie Koka, Dakota Potratz, Katie Burchell, and Sky Nielsen. Thompson, Mercy ruled Kindred for the third place crown. Devils Lake took home 7th place over Watford City. And Rugby won their game against Hazen, I believe. So here we go, folks. The ball is in the air, and we are underway. Tip controlled here by the Royals. So now ball being brought up here by Talbot. And that's going to be a travel early on here as Rose got caught shuffling with it in the corner. So early possession went to the Royals, and now the Royals look like they might be applying a little full court pressure here. Trap coming. Valley City breaks through it. And we'll get to Burchell now, back over to Freeze. Over to Potratz up top. Kicking in the corner here to Koka. Valley City ran the early offense through Koka. Freeze inside, gets bumped, and the foul called on South Prairie Max. And head coach Corey McIver is looking at the referee, asking why shoulder checks aren't allowed. Highliner set to inbound this ball, and now over to Sky Nielsen. She gets an open look from mid-range, a little too strong. Rebound pulled down by Maddie Freeze. We'll back it out here to Potratz. She'll line one up for a three off to the side. No good. So Valley City a couple good cracks, but not able to knock down the early jump shots. Now a long pass up to Rose, and it's out of bounds. So twice the Royals have tried to go to Rose. Twice she has turned the ball over. So the ball has to go be retrieved down the corner, and that'll stop our Sanford Health Valley City scoreboard at 7:22. Scoreless ball game so far in our Class A state championship. Koka gets the ball, gives it back to Nielsen. Nielsen over to Maddie Freeze. Maddie Freeze will cycle things back up top here to Potratz. Valley City sets up the offense. They go early inside to Burchell. Burchell kicks it out to Maddie Freeze, turns down a three, goes inside, no good. Burchell follows it up with a make. So Katie Burchell catches in on the offensive glass, and the Highliners with the first bucket of the game. Now Rutledge, just a tad under 13 points a game. Second leading scorers for the Royals this season. She's had a slow state tournament and leaves this layup short. Nielsen able to bring down the board, looking for somewhere to pass to, gets it to Potratz. Potratz working here against a double team, has to find somewhere to pass, has to get it over the timeline here, and just does with about a half second to spare. In with a low pop shot, no good. And the Royals able to pull down the rebound. Valley City's rebounding has been key to their success in this tournament with those second chance opportunities. Royals with a three from the outside, and they knock it down with Macy Talbot. So Talbot knocks down the three, and the Royals with their first lead of the game, and now they force a turnover. Now the other way, but Nielsen able to force a turnover. Now, and that's going to be Maddie Freeze getting caught up in what was a glorified triple team. Just didn't feel confident dribbling the ball and took that extra half step before taking off, and the referee calls the travel. 6:08 to go here in the first quarter. South Prairie with an early 3-2 lead. Talbot going to roll this one around over to Rutledge. Rutledge goes in, now to Brianna Rose. Head fake, goes inside, lays it up and in. Rose, third leading scorer for the Royals, might find herself on the all-tournament team if South Prairie wins this game. He has been that good. And Valley City throws it away again. Valley City, especially in the first quarter in both their games, has struggled with turnovers. Their defense has been able to keep them in it, but South Prairie Max is that good to where they might be able to run it up if Valley City turns it over too much. Maddie Freeze trying to bring this ball up. Working against Mickelson, now gets double teamed, pass tip over to Sky Nielsen, now back to Freeze. Valley City with a numerical advantage. Don't quite push the tempo, though, to try to take advantage. Nielsen back here to Koka. Koka trying to throw it into Burchell. Burchell inside, finishes through the contact for 2 points. Katie Burchell pulls Valley City back within one. 5:05 to go in the first quarter. Now Rutledge trying to drive inside against Koka. This will get kicked out to Mickelson. Mickelson leaves that three off the mark. Nielsen pulls down the board. Now kicks it up to Koka. Koka over now to Burchell. Burchell bringing it up, trying to go in and draws the foul inside. That'll be on Mickelson. That'll be her first. Second foul on the Royals. So 4:52 to go, and I believe this will be our media timeout. So Valley City trailing by 1, but a couple free throws coming up back here after our Valley City Chiropractors timeout on KOVC. Katie Burchell at the stripe here for 2 foul shots. Foul shot is up and in. Free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City, agent Chris Quilvang. Highliners have tied the game up at 5. Just under 5 minutes to go. Foul shot up and in, so another Nodak Insurance free throw. Agent Chris Quilvang of Valley City. 6-5 lead for Valley City. Now the South Prairie Max Royals working quickly, and they'll spin a layup in with Riley Rutledge. Third different Royal to score today. So 7-6 the advantage for the Royals. Lob pass up ahead here to Nielsen. Nielsen hands it off to Maddie Freeze. Turns down the early 3, and the long pass intercepted. Valley City can't do that. Too much length on this South Prairie Max team. They're going to be able to tip those long passes. Rutledge with the ball. Trying to drive inside. Good avenue to do so on the way in, and finishes for 2. Valley City cannot afford to get caught up and trying to make long passes again. Almost everyone on the South Prairie Max team is 5'10", so you're going to be able to try to make these long passes. Somebody's going to get a hand in the lane. Burchell going inside, hit on behind, and we'll get 2 more shots. South Prairie Max going to go to the Valley City going to go to the line here. Riley Rutledge, her second foul. Foul shot for Burchell, high into the air, looks short and off to the left, and it is. So into the game is going to be Maya Gunville, and Gunville is not uncommon to play a lot of minutes. Burchell's foul shot up and in. Free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City agent Chris Quilvang. 2-point ball game with 3:55 to go in the first quarter. Pass inside. Rose slipped free and finishes. So the Royals are doing something that no other team really has been able to do, and that is win inside against Valley City's defense. Katie Coca with the ball. Now throw the pass here to Nielsen. Nielsen might try to barge her way inside. Gets double teamed. Now kicks it out to Potratz. Potratz, good little head fake. Layup inside, no good. Gets her own miss. Now gets tied up, and that'll be a reach-in foul on Brianna Rose. So that's 4 fouls now on South Prairie Max. Oh, it'll be Maddie Freeze set to inbound it. Has to get this one away soon and lobs it, and the pass tipped. Dakota Potratz going for the ball, and a scramble breaks out, and it'll be a foul on Potratz. Going for the ball, and again, Valley City, these long passes have to be just completely extinct from the game plan. They cannot afford to make these long passes. South Prairie Max got way too much length, and they're going to get hands in the passing lane. So now checking into the game is going to be Kinsley Glant. Glant was, I think, only one of 2 substitutes used by Valley City yesterday in that win over Thompson. And Potrat's going to pick up a second foul. Dakota's got to know better than that. It's been a problem for her this year. She's done a good job of minimizing it in the state tournament, but she has a knack of just kind of committing rapid-fire fouls. That one right there just got the kind of trying to make up for one foul and commits another. So the Royals inbound the ball quickly here, and Rutledge going to back this one out over to Beck. Beck drives inside, kicks it out. Gunville for a 3. Leaves it short. Rebound pulled down here by Glant. Glant thought about pushing the tempo now. Has to pull it back down. Needs somewhere to go. We'll find Potratz. Oh, Burchell got shoved from behind, and they don't call a foul. So it's immediate timeout. Burchell, the pass was getting lobbed in. Not a bad decision by Potratz, but there was a deliberate 2-hand shove in the back and knocked Burchell away from the ball, and the referees let it go. So we'll be back here in a little bit. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractors. 11-7 lead for South Prairie Max over the Valley City Royals. South Prairie will start with the ball here to come out of this second media timeout. The balance for South Prairie has been dominant over Valley City. And this one, Valley City with 1 scorer in the game. Katie Burchell with all 7 points. South Prairie Max has spread it out with 3 scores. Rutledge, lob pass inside, and they're going to give the foul on Glant. So Brianna Rose has been an active force going inside. I think last year she was the 6th man. Oh, so they call it on the deck. So it is on the deck. So they're going to get that foul on Glant. She's one of the very few Valley City players that you could say was in foul trouble against Thompson. So Scotty Beck gets the ball, little half dribble, going to kick this one back around the outside. Rutledge between the legs, working against Potratz, lost the handle on it. Now kick this back out to Rose. Rose with a crossover, goes inside to Rutledge for a three. That'll rattle out. Nielsen gets clobbered in the face and loses the ball, and now the Royals will get it back. So South Prairie Max with a gifted second chance opportunity. Lob into inside. Ball gets tied up. Ball being fought for. Shot up, no good. South Prairie Max runs it down again. So here comes a third chance opportunity for the Royals. Rutledge inside, left by herself, and will rattle that one in. Riley Rutledge might have 2 fouls, but she is the conductor of this South Prairie Max offense. Hole number 1, 2, and 3 should be getting her out of this game for Valley City. Dakota kicks this one in the corner to Maddie Freese, who pump fakes but dribbles into a trap. Now low pass to Potratz. Potratz kicks it to Nielsen. Nielsen with a good look at a 3. Off the mark. Burchell tries to get to it but can't. And now this is where the Royals can do some damage in transition to Gunville. Now back over to Beck. Rose drives inside. Good placement on the hand there by Maddie Freese, and that'll be knocked out of play. So 13-7, the lead for South Prairie Max. $1:30 to go in the first. Now long pass up top here to Beck. Beck scoreless in this one so far, but they give Gunville a really good look. 3-pointer off the mark. And Valley City will bring this one up here with Potratz. Potratz picks up her dribble a little early, finds Glant. Glant back here to Potratz. Potratz goes inside here to Nielsen. Nielsen dealing with some physical defense and throws a pass away. And that'll roll all the way back down the floor and eventually go out of bounds. Valley City, they're trying to go down baseline. The problem is they don't have a plan if they get stopped. That's what a lot of teams do. They actually try to bait Valley City trying to drive in from the corner. Then they throw one body in front and then cut them off from the back and try to force a bad pass. And South Prairie Max has done it more than once in this game. 55 seconds left to go. Royals in front by 6. Beck with the ball. Now back out to Rutledge. She's going to line up another one and knocks it down. Riley Rutledge, 9 points in the first quarter, and it's a 9-point lead for the Royals. Valley City in desperate need of a bucket. Back here to Potratz. Potratz gets it. Now over to Glant. Glant going to size one up. Doesn't get a kind roll. Ball being fought for. Glant gets in there trying to get the steal, but only catch a foul. (16-7), and now this is where South Prairie Max really could take advantage. If they can get up by double figures after the first quarter by running the clock out and getting a basket. So it's been a dream start here for South Prairie Max, and especially for Riley Rutledge. She's had a tough state tournament, but she's having a great first quarter in this game. Now Beck kicks it to Rose. Now back over to Gunville. She'll shoot a 3 and knocks it down. And it is all South Prairie Max in the first quarter. 19-7. Burchell gets double team. Will now take a dribble to get out of the double team. Kicks it over to Potratz. Potratz trying to go inside. Layup attempt no good. Royals pull it down and will avoid getting trapped. Rose is going to chuck one up at the horn, but late. And just like that, it is the end of the first quarter. And South Prairie Max looked like a team of destiny this year, and they are looking like one right now. They are up 19-7 at the end of one. We'll be back here after the break here on KOBC. After one, it's 19-7 for the South Prairie Max Royals. 9 points from Riley Rutledge, 3 points Macy Talbot, 3 from Gunville, and 4 points from Brianna Rose. Simple case is that South Prairie Max is breaking down this Valley City defense in a way that I don't think Valley City was anticipating. Valley City has gotten hit in the mouth. Now it's all about how they're going to respond. And Jimmy Howard going with a very short bench in this game. Inside to Katie Burchell. Burchell trying to slug her way inside. Gets denied. Now Potratz for 3. Allen rattles out. Not a bad look, but just not the result. Now it's Rose bringing out the ball. Able to keep the dribble steady. Now kick it out to Beck for a 3, and she knocks it down. And yeah, this could be a long afternoon if South Prairie Max is hitting the threes at this rate. Valley City survived Thompson when they made 8 of 14 in a first half. But then again, that was also Valley City shooting the ball really well from the field. They're not doing that right now. Burchell gets a good look inside and will draw a foul. That'll be on Rose. That'll be her second. This is where Valley City has to be careful as Mariah Freeze gets set to check into the game. Central Cass might have made 12 threes against Valley City in that semifinal in Region 1 to knock them off. Foul shot for Burchell is up and off the back rim and no good. We'll credit it for Valley City losing that game to Central Cass, but what you have to remember is when the Squirrels made 8 three-pointers in the first half, it was tied up 39-39. When the Squirrels only made 4, which again, respectable, but not shooting the lights out, they outscored Valley City by 6 points. And the reason why the Squirrels pulled away from Valley City in that one is because Katie Burchell was really the only offense Valley City used. She'll make that free throw. Nodak Insurance of Valley City bringing you the free throws. Three-pointer for the Royals off the mark. Valley City pulls down the rebound here with Freeze. Now Glant brings it up, kicks it over to Sky Nielsen. Now cross quarter here to Mariah Freeze. Freeze over to Maddie. Now over to Mariah, lobbing a pass inside to Burchell. Burchell hit on the way up and one. So Katie Burchell now gets her team into 10 points. That'll be on Gunville. That'll be her first. 6:52 to go here in the second quarter. So Katie Burchell going to get one foul shot here. 4 or 6 at the line right now. And that'll rattle out. Mariah Freeze going for the rebound. Gets tangled up. Can't get it. Now South Prairie Max will push with numbers. Ball bobbled by Mickelson as they'll back it outside. Gunville launches up a 3. Leaves it short. Rebound being fought for and out of bounds. Off the Royals. For Valley City, it is of vital importance for them to start clicking on more than one phase of the offense. Katie Birch is a great player, but we saw with Thompson, or as we saw with Kindred, you can't just rely on one player, but Katie Burchell's doing her darndest right now to keep her team in it. That's another basket for Katie Burchell. 22-12. Now Scotty Beck pushes this one to the outside. Around the horn they go. Ball back up top here to Scotty Beck. Beck now rolls it back around the outside. Pass out here to Mickelson. Mickelson being guarded tightly. Now we'll back it outside to the substitute guard, Rao. Rao had her ball tipped away momentarily. Three-pointer on the way. Left it short. Rao with the rebound and will back it out. Valley City able to get a hand in the passing lane and able to get a steal, but they throw it away to someone who wasn't looking for it. And Scotty Beck gets 2 points. Scotty Beck with 5. Type of turnover you can't make. You get a stop on defense, and then you're just so anxious to make a play, make a pass that you end up throwing it away. Maddie Freeze turns down another 3. She'll find Mariah. Mariah turns down a 3. Valley City, they're getting looks. No one wants to pull the trigger on the 3. Glant will pull the trigger, and that'll bounce out. Burchell with the board. Hit on the way up. Can't quite finish, but it'll be another foul on the inside. It'll be on Mickelson. There'll be immediate timeout coming up. 5:26 left to go. South Prairie Max in front, 24-12. Back after the break. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractic. 24-12, South Prairie Max leads Valley City. 5:26 to go here in the second quarter on our Sanford Health Valley City scoreboard. Katie Burchell at the stripe once again. She's been the lone scorer today for Valley City. Foul shot up, foul shot off the back rim, so Burchell has now missed 3 of her last 4 foul shots. Foul shot is up and in. So free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City agent Chris Quilvang. 24-13. Scotty Beck, all 5 points for the Royals in this quarter. Now she'll launch up another 3 off the back rim. Mariah goes up and gets the rebound over Rose, and he'll give it to Nielsen. Press coming up here, and Valley City able to get it through. Well, South Prairie does a good job at trekking backwards. Now Burchell inside through the contact, and it does not matter. Katie Burchell, 15 points, 24-15, Valley City. South Prairie. Now Rutledge, they're going inside, space it back out. Valley City overhelp, but the three-pointer is missed. Blank got the rebound, now forces a pass, and now the ball being fought for. Rose has it. Rose driving inside through the contact, finishes and one, and that is Valley City's second time giving away points off of just bad passing. They're getting rushed in terms of trying to make plays. Now you want to look at, without those two passes, this is potentially at least a 7-point game. That'll be off to the side on a missed foul shot. Valley City, though, they stopped going for the rebound. Valley City, they're just making mistakes they don't normally make, and Rose can't get that floater to go. Valley City, though, is kneecapping themselves on some of these on defense. They're not laying up their full potential, and Jimmy Howard's going to call a timeout. So 30-second timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractors. Keep it right here. What's noticeable for Valley City right now is they've made a couple of passes that just they get the rebound and then they don't really know where to go with the ball afterwards. So the double team comes from South Prairie Max, and both times they've thrown it away, and that's gifted South Prairie Max 4 points. Lucky not to give up 6 points off a rebound that Valley City, they thought the ball was just going to go out of bounds. Usually if you get one off to the side and it's just quickly going out, you let it go and you get the ball. Well, that one just slowly rolled away, and Sky Nielsen, again, one of the more aggressive players for Valley City, just stopped going for the ball. So, again, you're not out of this game. It's 11 points, but got to start playing with a little more fire. Pass over here to Glant. Out of the timeout. Maddie Freeze lines one up for a three. That's off to the side, and now South Prairie Max quickly down the floor, playing with great speed. Scotty Beck kicks this one around the horn. Valley City leaves open another shooter. Three-pointer knockdown. Riley Rutledge. And South Prairie Max starting to run it up here, 29-15. Riley Rutledge, again, slow tournament. She has picked her best game to have her best game. Glant for a three. She'll knock it down. First three-pointer for Valley City. First bucket by someone other than Katie Burchell. Pass down to Beck. Back around the horn they go. Rutledge, jab steps. Valley City, they're playing a zone right now. That's why they're giving up a lot of open threes up top. Rutledge, little stab. Goes now over to Brianna Rose. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Mickelson with the ball. Now outside for another three. This one short. Rebound pulled down by Mariah. Valley City is bound and determined to go down with the ship in this 2-3 zone. They're giving up way too many open threes because of it. Mariah Freeze down the baseline. Will pop up mid-range J and knock it down. So Mariah Freeze makes it a 9-point game. South Prairie Max quickly back down the floor. They'll kick it out in the corner for another three. That's going to be off the mark. Glant gets out-muscled by Rutledge. Now over to Beck. Around the horn they go. Rutledge puts her hands up. She wants the ball, but it'll give it quickly back to Beck. Back around the horn they go. They pump on a three, and we'll pull it down. Back to Beck. Beck lobs it into Rutledge. Quick little stutter step. Throws up a floater. Gets it to drop. Everything going in for Riley Rutledge. 31-20. Rutledge has been phenomenal in this game. 14 points for the South Prairie Max senior. Burchell inside. Finishes through the contact. Katie Burchell keeping Valley City in this one. Valley City's defense needs some stops. Beck, floater, no good. Rebound, Mariah Freeze. Freeze makes the pass to Glant. Glant's got to be careful. Picked up a dribble a little too soon, but found Mariah. Mariah will bring this one down the court. Now over to Glant. Glant with one dribble, gives it back here to Freeze. Freeze going to put up a three-pointer. Leaves it short. Rebound, foul four on the deck. Sky Nielsen in to get the ball. Now back to Mariah. She'll line up another three. Knock it down! Mariah Freeze, 5 points. Valley City within 6. $1:50 to go in the first. Now Rutledge with the ball. Kicks it back to Mickelson. Back here to Rutledge. Rutledge with a jab step between the legs. Now back out over to Scotty Beck. Back to Rutledge. They left her open, but she doesn't pull the trigger. Now she'll take a step back three in the face of Glant. Can't get it to go. Mariah with the rebound. Will give it to Glant. Pass up ahead here to Maddie. Maddie now into Burchell. Burchell will pull down her dribble. Back here to Mariah. Over here to Glant for a three. No good. Maddie fighting for the rebound. She'll run it down. Ball didn't hit rim, so the shot clock doesn't reset. Down to 18 seconds. Ball now in the corner. Mariah. Shot blocked out of bounds. Dakota Potrat's coming into the game. The bench did a good job buying Dakota Potrat some time. She went into the quarter with 2 fouls, and the bench has put in 7 points in the quarter, or 8 points in the quarter to keep Valley City afloat. 31-25. Timeout for the media. Timeout brought to you by Valley City Chiropractic. 31-25. Minute 10 left to go here in the second quarter on our Sanford Health of Valley City scoreboard. City set to inbound this one. 13 seconds on the shot clock here. Maddie Freeze with it. Freeze dumps it into Nielsen. Nielsen back to Freeze. Thought about the catch shoot. Will dump it back to Nielsen and lost the handle on it. Back to Freeze. Maddie Freeze takes one dribble. Inside to Nielsen. Nielsen gets double teamed back to Freeze. Gets a decent look for a three. Knocks it down. Maddie Freeze knocks it down. Valley City within 3. They were down by 12 in the quarter. They have fought back. 31-28. 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter. They're going to go right here to Riley Rutledge. Now we're to Gunville. Long pass. Potratz deflected it. Couldn't quite get her hand to it. Or keep it in play, I should say. And it'll be out of bounds. 44 seconds even to go here. 22 on the shot clock. Rose gives this one over to Rutledge. Rutledge slowly bringing the ball up. Kicks this one to Beck. Beck gets a decent look. Off the front rim, no good. Gets her own miss. Throws up a floater off the back rim, no good. Ball being fought for. Gets her own miss again. Ball on the deck. Valley City's got it. Nielsen pulls it down. So Valley City can hold for the final shot if they want. Maddie Freeze gets it. Will pass it back here to Sky Nielsen. Back over to Potratz. Over to Glant. Glant thought about a three. Potratz gets it back. Now, had a chance, but we'll pull it down. Valley City gets this under 10 seconds to go. Handoff here to Nielsen. Back over to Glant. Glant to Potratz. Potratz wide open for a three. Knocks it down! And we're tied up at 3. 31-31. Valley City with a run to take back control of this game potentially. They were down by 12, but they fought back to tie it up at 31 at the half. They've got the momentum. Now can they come out of halftime and dominate the third? Back here after the break on KOBC. Welcome back, everyone, to the Jamestown Civic Center. Time for our halftime show being brought to you by our friends over at Nutrient Ag Solutions. Valley City and South Prairie Max tied up at 31 apiece. South Prairie 13 of 33 from the field. Valley City 11 of 25. South Prairie 8 of 15 inside. Valley City 7 of 12. Katie Burchell 6 of 6 from the field. 3-point shooting, both teams similar numbers. Valley City 4 of 13 from deep. South Prairie Max 5 of 18. South Prairie Max knocked down 3 3-pointers in the first and 2 in the third. Valley City went 0 from 3 in the first half and then knocked down 4. Maddie Freeze, Dakota Potratz, Kinsley Glant, and Mariah Freeze. That helped Valley City erase what was a 12-point deficit and tie this game up at 31. That's been a lot of rebounds for either side, really, to get Katie Burchell 17 points, 3 rebounds, and she's been averaging about a 23-point double-double in this tournament. So not that she's getting out-muscled, but just having a lot of rebounds. Valley City winning the rebound battle slightly, 18-16. Offensive rebounds, though. Got to be able to take those away. Scotty Beck, 3 offensive boards in this one. Got to keep her off the glass. Riley Rutledge having a great first half, 14 points for her. Again, slow start for her. By her standards, she's had a bit of a rough state tournament. She absolutely came through in that first half for the Royals. 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from 2, 2 of 5 from deep. So it is certainly a even battle between the two. Both teams have traded solid punches. Both have wobbled the other. And as we go to the halftime break, it is even Stevens across the board. You get now to kind of where did this game turn around for Valley City? Obviously, the three-pointers helped. But Valley City, when they got back into the game, is when other players got involved. And this isn't Katie Burchell being selfish. You see, there's a difference between one player operating like Katie Burchell does and a player like, just for terms, Hayden Crockett. I wouldn't call Hayden Crockett selfish either, but she was in control of the ball. She's throwing up shots. Katie Burchell is not the primary ball handler on this team. She puts her hand up and goes to work. She's not going to get the ball unless she's getting the matchup. So she's not being selfish by not kicking out. She's not making bad plays. She's just the offense is rolling through her, and she got the first, 12 points of the game for Valley City. But when other players got involved, when Maddie Freeze, Dakota Potratz, Kinsley Glenn, and Mariah Freeze all step up and got it going, that's when this game started to turn around. And I think you really got to give credit here to Kinsley Glenn and Mariah Freeze. 8 points for the reserves in that half or in the quarter for Valley City. And Kinsley Glenn and Mariah Freeze are going to be huge pieces of the future for the Highliners. Kinsley Glenn, she's not going to break a lot of people down one-on-one, but you want to see her confident enough to take those shots. And Valley City, in the first parts of that kind of first quarter and second quarter, they were kind of gun-shy from deep. It's, sometimes the threes don't go in, and that's fine. Valley City's more of an interior team than an exterior team. But you kind of don't shy away from the moment. If you miss shots, you miss shots. And sometimes you can create the best shots in the world and they don't go in. But don't be afraid to take them. And I think Valley City finally started to get the feeling back into their legs a little bit. And at this point, it's 16 minutes left for the season. Valley City has been down to 8 minutes left to go in the season. They've been down to 25 seconds left to go in the season. And again, for better or worse, that's it. There's no game after this. Win, lose, there ain't no game after this. So I expect both teams to come out here and give it everything they have. Kindred, in the game yesterday against the Royals, had the game down to 4 points, and it was, I believe, Collins McQuillan. She at one point hit 3 straight corner threes and had Kindred within 4, and then Kindred decided it was best with a gas team to start running a full court press, and South Prairie Max eventually pulled away on them to win. But South Prairie Max, it's not like they haven't been under pressure in the tournament. They proved that under fire they can operate. This isn't a team that is just coasting off being front runners. This is not going to be a team that if you get them down by 5 points or so, they're going to forget how to play basketball. This is going to be a team that you got to go out and you got to go out here and you got to play two solid and even probably better than solid quarters of basketball. So Valley City, first quarter, only scored 7 points. They respond with a 24-point quarter in quarter number 2 after scoring 19 points in the first quarter. South Prairie Max with 12 points in that second quarter. Riley Rutledge with 14 of the 31 points for South Prairie Max. Valley City 17 points of 31 points for Valley City. Going through some of the other stats here. Let's see, second chance points. Valley City leading 9-6. Let's see. Free throws, Valley City with 5 points to South Prairie Max's 0. 11 points for South Prairie Max off turnovers. And again, going back to the 4 points, Valley City let up because of getting a defensive rebound and then just immediately throwing it away. That's, part of it right there. Valley City hasn't turned it over as much as they had in other games. Only 7 turnovers in that first half for Valley City, which for them is a heck of a number. But it's pretty even. It is pretty even across the board here between the Highliners and the South Prairie Max Royals, which is what you expect in a matchup like this. So looking at kind of across the board here, Scotty Beck, slow quarter for her in terms of what we've seen. 5 points for her, 6 rebounds, though, so she's on track for a double-double, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 1 steal. Scotty Beck is a player that is kind of like how you would describe some of the Kindred boys from last year, is that like a player like Carson O.C., Presley Peraza, or Brooks Bacco could have easily have averaged 25 points per game, but they had so much talent around them that they didn't have to average that. Kind of same thing with Katie Burchell. If Valley City really wanted to, considering that in Region 1, there's not a lot of true stoppers on the inside outside of what Claire Woods. And you could say Kindred, but Kindred really doesn't use any type of interior defense at all because they play Nipstad and Trinbeth on the perimeter. So if Valley City really wanted to, they could have just turned this into let's get Katie Burchell 30 points a game, and that she could have done it. That's what they're doing right now, and it's worked to an extent. But it's got to be Katie Burchell and the rest of the team. It just can't be Katie Burchell trying to get this done for Valley City. Again, she's not being selfish. The offense just is running through her, and that's okay. But when the pressure comes to Katie Burchell, everybody else has got to step up as well. So we're down to about 5 minutes ago. We had a little ceremony to honor one of the past state champions. So that's why we're having a little bit of a longer halftime break. So Valley City comes out here with about 5.5 minutes left to go till the start of the third quarter. So that's when we'll be back here. We'll be back here in about 5 minutes with the start of our third quarter here on the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. This has been our Nutrient Ag Solutions halftime show. 31-31 as we get set to start our next quarter play. It'll be South Prairie Max with the ball. Riley Rutledge leading the way with 14 points. Brianna Rose second on the list with 6. Scotty Beck with 5. Valley City 17 points for Katie Burchill, 5 for Mariah Freeze, 3s from Glant, Potratz, and Maddie Freeze. So here we go. This one will get kicked in the corner to Mickelson. Now back around they go. Cross quarter here to Rose. Rose used a pump fake to get inside. Good defense by Potratz, and Nielsen will pull down the rebound. Glant to start this game in place for Coca. Now over to Burchill. Burchill going inside. Layup off the back rim. Scrambling for the rebound. Glant has it. Jump ball will belong to Valley City. Don't really like that offensive setup down the floor for Valley City. They kind of threw it to Katie Burchill and 4 vacated. Not a lot of support came, but Glant did a good job of hopping on the grenade and giving Valley City another crack at some points here. Maddie Freeze flashing inside. Good look for her. Can't finish, and that'll be a reach over by Katie Burchill. Maddie Freeze did a good job recognizing that nobody was getting open down low, so she flashed inside and just could not quite finish through the good defense there for the Royals. So that'll be the first foul on Katie Burchill. 7:25 to go. Prairie will wheel this one to the corner here for Rose. Rose now over to Rutledge. Rutledge back here for Scotty Beck. Open in the corner for a 3. Leaves it short. Rebound by Burchill. Burchill able to get out of the pile with the ball, but throws it away. Maddie Freeze hits the pile. Gets it. Now to Glant. Glant gets up. Katie Burchill is hurt. She's limping down the floor. Pass inside to Nielsen, and that'll be a throwaway. Nielsen is Burchill is hobbling down the floor. Now the ball getting kicked around on the deck, out of bounds off Valley City. Jimmy Howard is looking at the direction of his star player, and he's going to go get Kaylee Nielsen from the bench. Burchill is holding her ribs. So Katie Burchill is going to try to get some rest on the sidelines. It's going to be up to Kaylee Nielsen to hold the fort. Do they go right inside? Yes, they do. And Rose able to finish. Rose with 8 points. So now what does Valley City do without the leader on the floor? That is Katie Burchill, who steps up in her place. Most vital moment of the season for Valley City. Kaylee Nielsen all by herself underneath. Can't finish. Sky with the board. She'll finish for 2. Sky Nielsen, her first 2 points of the day. 33-33. 6:20 to go. Katie Burchill is being attended to off the bench. As of right now, she's not on the bench. Mickelson with the ball. We'll kick it over to Scotty Beck. Beck ropes a pass inside to Rose. Rose all by herself, but can't get it to go. Valley City pulls down the rebound. It'll be an over-the-back foul. That's on Mickelson. That'll be her 3rd. Or, excuse me, they have her marked down for 2 fouls, so my bad on that one. Katie Burchill comes into the game, and she'll replace Kaylee Nielsen. So Burchill back into the game after missing about a minute of game time. Pass here to Potratz. South Prairie throwing up a trap. Valley doing a good job working it side to side. Now high pass to Glant, pulls it down. Now over to Maddie Freeze in the corner. Freeze gets trapped in the corner, able to dribble through momentarily. Kicks this one down to Potratz. Potratz tries to slide through. Pass it back to Freeze. Mid-range jump shot, too strong. Burchill fights, gets the rebound, hit on the way up. She'll get 2. Maddie Freeze did a good job of staying calm and finding a slice to get through the defense there. So Potratz, and that is going to be the 3rd foul on Mickelson. So it will be Burchill at the stripe here. 5 of 9 so far. Foul shot up, looks strong, and it is. Burchill, I don't think she's had a 2-for-2 trip today. So 5:46 to go. Burchill spins the ball in her hand, will put it up and knock it down. Free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City agent Chris Quilbank. 34-33. Valley City in front with 5:40 to go in this third quarter. Now back inside. Rutledge pass it down over to Beck. Beck going inside. Force a pass back out to Rutledge for a three off the mark. Rebound fought for. Nielsen tipping it around. Still fighting for it. And he'll get it. Ball off the shoe tops of Glant, but able to recover it. Now back to Maddie Freeze, who will back things down. Press coming. Will pass out to Potrats. So Valley City handles the press well that time. Glant will kick this one over to Nielsen. Nielsen back over to Freeze. Back to Potrats. Potrats holds on to it. Will back it up here to the wing. Now looks into Burchell. Burchell going through the contact. Hit on the way up. Will get 2 shots. Now it's going to be on Talbot, I believe. And it is going to be on Talbot. That'll be her first. Media timeout here. I believe. Yep, media timeout. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractic. Highliners in front by 1 with 2 shots coming up. 34-33. Valley City in front on the Sanford Health Valley City scoreboard. And then will be Katie Burchell going to the stripe again. She drew 5 fouls in that first half. And now she's drawn a couple more. Will be Katie Burchell going to the stripe here for 2. Has yet to have a 2-for-2 trip. Only time she made 2 in a row was after she converted an and 1 and made the front end of her second trip to the stripe. Well, shot is up and a little short, but gets a kind kiss off the rim. Free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance, a Valley City agent, Chris Quilvang. That'll put Valley City in front by 3. Or 2, excuse me. This one to make it 3, and it'll rattle out. So another 1-for-2 trip. We're not leaving empty-handed, but certainly Valley City leaving a handful of points out there on the board that they hope don't come back to bite them. Rutledge with the ball. Now kicks over to Gunville. Gunville going to fire up a 3 and rattles it home. So South Prairie Max back in front by 1. Second 3 of the day for Gunville. Now Maddie Freeze able to pass out of it over to Glant. Glant now to Nielsen, back to Glant. Glant, crossover move, trying to go inside. Freezes up, gets it back to Nielsen. Nielsen over to Maddie Freeze. Freeze, free throw line, jump shot, up and in. Maddie Freeze with 5, 37-36, 4:20 to go in the third. Rutledge tries to drive inside, ball tipped, and it's going to be to Valley City. What a play by Kinsley Gland to get in there, tip it off the bigger ball handler in Riley Rutledge. And Valley City, chance to steal a possession away here. And a substitution coming in here, going to be Macy Talbot coming in for Rutledge. I think the key, if Rutledge gets into foul trouble, which I think is what South Prairie Max is trying to avoid, if Valley City gets Rutledge into foul trouble, I think that pretty much kneecaps this entire Royals offense. Now Glant thought about a quick catch-shoot 3, goes to Burchell. Burchell feeling the double team, will dump it back off to Potrats. Potrats with a good pump fake, off the glass, no good. Ball on the deck being scrapped for. Arrow's going to favor South Prairie Max. Back to Valley City after this. Not a bad look there by Potrats. We'd like to see her kind of finish and try to drive up inside for a pop-a shot floater instead of just that mid-range jump shot. So back with the ball. Back around the horn they go here. Over to Talbot. Talbot wheels and deals. Now back over to Rose. Rose, low pass. Back around the horn they go. Beck gets a decent look and knocks it down for 3. So Scotty Beck puts the Royals in front by a pair. And Burchell just able to hold on to the pass. She's going to get double teamed and throws it off a body, saving Jimmy Howard a timeout. So Maddie Freeze will be set to inbound this one for Valley City. This is what South Prairie did against Thompson, is they're hitting enough threes to stay in front, while Valley City is probably the more efficient team. Back over to Glant. Glant with a head fake, driving inside. It's hit on the way in. Potrats will get it. Finds Sky Nielsen, who will launch one up. Knocks it down. Sky Nielsen with 5. So Valley City back in front in a seesaw third quarter, 40-39. Back out here, around the horn they go. Over now to Beck. Beck lost the ball on the way in. Valley City with the steal. Potrats holding on to it. Now lobs it up ahead to Maddie Freeze. Freeze lets the defense fly by. Puts it up and in for 2. Good composed footwork there by Freeze. She's got 7. Now here come the Royals back down the floor. Now pass around the outside to Gunville. Back over here to Talbot. Talbot takes a couple dribbles inside to Rose. She's been good on the inside, but she'll take one dribble, kick it out. Another three for the Royals. Oh, that was halfway down, but all the way out. Burchell gets tied up and slung to the ground. And Rao getting high fives for slinging Burchell to the ground. They know what they have to do to stop Katie Burchell, and it's beat her up physically, but Burchell going to head back to the huddle.
Limping, but not out of this game.
It is 42-39, 2:27 left to go. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractor. 2:27 to go in the third quarter. It's 42-39. Valley City with the ball off a tie-up. So Sky Nielsen looks like she'll be the one inbounding it. South Prairie Max going back with the press. Valley City's done a good job of breaking through it. So they go to Potratz. Now South Prairie Max will bring over the second body back to Nielsen. Nielsen takes a dribble, rolls a pass, gets deflected away. Maddie Freeze on the deck, not quite able to handle it. Now back the other way. And they say Rose traveled with it. Rose traveled with it, and it wipes out 2 points. Well, it's one of the very rare Valley City turnovers because of the press. But now South Prairie Max is now going to go down without swinging. And Jimmy Howard will get a timeout off. The problem is with Valley City right now is there's not a lot of walking going on, or not a lot of dribbling going on in that press. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractor. Just going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. That ball is sticking in the press. Got to be able to dribble and move. Got to be able to hit somebody in motion. The problem is Valley City catches the ball and they're letting the defense come to them, which is okay which is okay to do initially if you wait for the second body to come. You rifle a bounce pass to the player that's going to be off to your left or to your right, fire the bounce pass, and then you dribble it up after the initial. So essentially the first one can be there to suck in the double team if the person that gets the ball second is going to be able to dribble it up. If you just have it stick in one place, that's when this press can become a menace. Valley City will actually now get it on the baseline instead of underneath their own basket. So now they get it to Glant. Glant, head up. Now lobs it up ahead to Freeze. Freeze doesn't quite push leverage. Now out here to Potratz. Thought about a three, but he'll pull it down. Into Nielsen. Back to Potratz. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Glant. Glant working here against Scotty Beck with 10 seconds. Now a foul off ball, and they call it inside on the Royals. That'll be a foul, looks like, on Talbot. So that'll be 4 fouls now on South Prairie, and that's a bad foul for them to give up. Valley City really wasn't doing anything offensively. It was down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now it's a fresh 35 to work with. Pass tipped away here, and they're going to say it's out on Rao. Valley City will get it back. Having a little bit of trouble now, getting it through the pressure here of South Prairie. Bounce pass over to Glant. So Glant. Now a quick pass to Potratz. Valley City operates on the outside. They're going into Burchell. Burchell makes a miss. Deals with the contact. Can't finish. Ball tipped out of bounds. Touched by the Royals. They'll get it back. Oh, you don't see Burchell miss very many in tight. Defense just enough to force that miss. So 35 seconds back on the shot clock. And their inbounds coming up. Burchell trying to get through a double team. They'll get it to Nielsen instead. Nielsen, a little pitch pass out to Glant. Glant with one dribble back to Potratz. Potratz going to cycle things over here to Nielsen. Nielsen being guarded by Rose. Now we're to Maddie Freeze. Freeze working on Rao. Going inside. Scoop layup, no good, but draws the foul. And that'll be a 5th foul on the Royals. So Maya Rao gets popped for her first foul of the day. And Rao's a little bit miffed at that one. I can see where she comes from. It wasn't the best layup attempt by Maddie Freeze, but I'm going to say Rao was guarding the body and not the ball. Freeze's foul shot is up and in. So Freeze will put Valley City up by 4. Foul shot brought to you by Nodak Insurance, a Valley City agent, Chris Quilvang. Foul shot up, and it's off to the side. So still Valley City still not a 1 for 2, or still not with a 2 for 2 trip yet in this game. Now Talbot with a jab step. Highliners in front by 4 with 1:10 to go in the third. Up top here to Rutledge. Rutledge fires up a 3 off to the side. Long rebound. Talbot just able to hold on. No, she steps out of bounds. Talbot stepped out of bounds. Looked like she was going to run it down, but just had that pinky toe on the line. 1:06 to go.
So Dakota Potratz brings it up in the middle of the press. Valley City gets through it. Now Katie Burchell all by herself. Highliners crack the press for 2 points. 45-39. Crucial 50 seconds up here for Valley City right now. Stopping a bucket would be huge to close out this quarter. Little pop pass outside here for the Royals. Wing it inside to Rutledge. Rutledge takes it back out for Rose for a 3. That's short. Rebound poked away from Burchell. Tie-up going to give it to the Royals, and that is... Burchell was going for a ball that would bounce right at her shoe tops. If it bounced up higher, she might have had a chance. It stayed low enough to where I believe that was Rutledge able to get a hand to poke it free. Now back outside. Sky Nielsen sold out to block a 3-pointer that wasn't taken. Now the Royals will reset things up top. High pass here over to Gunville. Now back to Beck. To Rutledge. Rutledge able to rattle that one in. 4-point lead for Valley City. Now over to Glant. Glant able just to keep that back foot planted to avoid a travel. 15 seconds for Valley City to work with. Back to Glant. Glant back here to Freeze. 8 seconds. Freeze kicks it over to Glant. Glant for a 3. Leaves it short. Now Beck going to be able to get off a full court chuck. No, she won't. Half court shot by Rose off the mark and not in time. So Valley City leads 45-41 as we go into our final quarter of play. 45-41, Valley City in front. Back after the break on KOVC. 45-41 with the season and a championship on the line with 8 minutes to go. After giving up 19 points in the first quarter, Valley City has held South Prairie Max to 12 and 10 in the next 2. After only 7 points in the first quarter, Valley City has gotten 24 and 14 in the next 2. So fourth quarter play. They'll inbound this one to Glenn. Again, a tight bench used here by Valley City. Potratz going to find Sky Nielsen. Nielsen on the cross quarter, back here to Potratz. Potratz with a dribble in. We'll kick it over here to Freeze. Freeze back to Glant. Over down to Nielsen with a little mid-range pop shot. Knocks it down. Sky Nielsen, 7 points in the second half. Highliners in front by 6, 47-41, 7:35 to go on the Sanford Health of Valley City scoreboard. That'll be a reach-in foul called on Maddie Freeze. Rutledge put a little stutter step on her. Foul on the deck, so no shot. Now over to Talbot. Talbot gets this one over now to Beck. Inside they go. Cross-court pass to, I believe that's Talbot in the corner. She'll drive inside. Hook pass back to Brianna Rose. Valley City didn't follow her, and she'll knock it down. Brianna Rose, 11 points in this game. Now a long pass here to Maddie Freeze. And Rutledge poked it away from behind. Now here they come. Rutledge, a little jab step working against Glant. Pass inside to Rose. Rose thought about a step back. Now she will take the step back and knock it down with a hand right in her face. So Brianna Rose has come out and hit 2 big baskets. That'll be a reach-in foul on the Royals. Trying to rip a steal. That'll be the 3rd foul on Rutledge. Brianna Rose, maybe the more unheralded player for South Prairie Max, but she does all the little things right. 3rd leading scorer for them on the year. Went for a steal, didn't get it. Valley City with some numbers. Hey, Freeze elects not to take the 3. Back over here to Potratz. Over now in the corner to Nielsen. Nielsen with the ball now back to Glant. She'll line up for a 3 off the back rim. And South Prairie pulls down the long rebound. Now in transition they go to Scotty Beck. And rattles out. Not quite an and one. Good job by Glant to get back. But that's her 3rd foul for Glant. So Scotty Beck, 8 points in this game, but has not been to the stripe yet. Able to knock that one down, get her to 9. Valley City can't be falling in love with those jump shots. Now shot is up for Beck and rattles it home, so we're tied up now, 47-47. Additionally, it's been South Prairie Max, the hotter starting team, and Valley City catches up As the quarter goes on, Burchell gets tripped. No call. Nielsen gets back, trying to force a miss, but in perfect position to take advantage of Scotty Beck. Burchell got tripped from behind in the press, able to steal away the lead. Now Jimmy Howard calls a timeout. So 6:03 to go, 30-second timeout. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractor. South Prairie Max in front. 49-47. South Prairie Max opens up the quarter on a 9-2 run. I think a 2-point advantage here with just under 2 minutes gone here in this fourth quarter on our Sanford Health scoreboard. So they're going to continue to press. Valley City's got to be able to be more deliberate in how they break this down. Potratz gets it, had Freeze up ahead, and now Valley City, they had Burchell for a moment but did not pass it. Now back over to Nielsen. Nielsen looking for Burchell but pulls it back down over to Glant. Glant going to get a good look at a three. Off to the side, no good. Valley City doesn't get the rebound. Now this is where South Prairie might get it. But Sky Nielsen with the steal, trying to bring it up. Goes all by herself, draws the foul, and it's going to be on Rutledge. That's her fourth. That's the fourth foul on Rutledge. Nielsen, you'd probably like the bounce pass there to Burchell in transition. Beck was coming from behind. So now the question is, what do they do with Rutledge? They're going to pull her. So Nielsen at the stripe here. Foul shot up, foul shot in. Foul shot brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City. Agent Chris Quilvang. Valley City has not gone 2 for 2 at the stripe yet in this game. Gunville comes in. South Prairie might not want to lose Rutledge. Gunville, capable shooter, 2 3-pointers in the game today. Foul shot up, looks short, and it is, but gets a kind roll. So a 2 for 2 trip ties it up at 49-49. Talbot, little stutter step, will hand this one off to Scotty Beck. Beck wheels this pass to the corner, now back up top to Beck. Obviously sticking with the 2-3 zone. They're going to dump it down inside, fade away for Brianna Rose, and hits an and one fall away hook shot. Brianna Rose, I don't think she was going to be considered for tournament MVP. I think there's a lot of people that go back and do their ballots. The way she's played might just justify that selection. Foul shot up, foul shot in. She has been clutch in this fourth quarter. Pass over here to Glant. Glant takes a dribble, has a seam to work with. Now gets a reach-in foul drawn, and that'll be on South Prairie Max. That'll be their third. So both teams now with 3 team fouls. That'll be second foul on Gunville. 3-point lead here for the Royals. Pass here over to Nielsen. Nielsen going to dump it into Burchell. Burchell goes inside, can't get it, gets her own miss, can't finish again. Gets again and finally gets it inside for 2 points. 51-52. Gunville, transition 3 off the mark. Long rebound. Rose going for it. Doesn't get it in time, and the ball belongs to Valley City. .53 to go. 1-point ball game. South Prairie Max in front. Much to the heroics of Brianna Rose. Pass here to Glant. Glant back here to Potratz. Potratz will take a dribble, let the team catch up to her. Now back over to Nielsen. Nielsen going to shoot for a 3. Off the mark. Ball being fought for on the deck. And Burchell, instead of grabbing a rebound, she tried to tip it off a player. You'd like Burchell just to swing those arms in there and go for that rebound. I'm not even sure if it was going to be off Valley City or not. So now a big opportunity here for the Royals. Burchell trying to force it. It'll go. Big decision coming up here for the officials. And they'll give it to Valley City. So the Highlanders able to force another turnover. And we're getting substitutions coming in. It's going to be Rutledge coming in for Gunville. So 52-51, 4:20 left to go in this fourth quarter. Pass here to Potratz. Potratz pumps a pass and now will take it up herself. Spins around away from pressure. Rolling pass here for Nielsen. Nielsen over to Maddie Freeze. Shoot for a 3. Knocks it down! Maddie Freeze with 11 points. Valley City in front by 2. 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Rutledge with 4 fouls, working against Glant. Will now give it to Rose. Now over to Talbot. Back here to Rutledge. Rutledge being marked by Glant, the much smaller player. Done an admirable job so far. Beck kicks this one to Rose. Rose for another 3 off the mark. Nielsen skies to get the rebound. Now rolling pass here to Potratz. Potratz weaving through traffic. Eyes up, looking for a potential partner to pass to. We'll back this one back now. And just nearly lost the dribble. Back here to Glant. Glant, they find Burchell. Burchell inside, hit on the way up, 2 shots, and that's a foul on Beck. That is going to be 4 fouls now on the Royals. So Valley City virtually in the bonus right now. Burchell has been banged up this tournament. She's holding her side. She's at 23 points. Foul shot up. Foul shot in. Free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City agent Chris Quilbang. 55-52. Foul shot up. Foul shot in. 2 for 2. 56-52 Valley City. Now Talbot with the dribble. Working here against Maddie Freeze. She'll pop this one back outside. Around the corner they go. Good look in the corner for Mickelson. She knocks it down. Every time the Royals have needed a 3, they've gotten a 3, and Valley City vacated the premises. Too much in the corner, and Mickelson knocks down her first 3, her first points of the game. Timeout taken. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractors. Mickelson hadn't done much all game, but she just hit a big 3. That could have been a huge turning point. If she missed, it might have allowed Valley City to get that lead up to 7 or 8. Now Potratz gets it, dealing with some pressure. Now spinning, trying to find where to go. Finds Nielsen. Now over to Maddie Freeze. Freeze back to Potratz. Potratz had a foot on the line, thought about a 3, but don't back it out. Over now to Glant. This 5 has played the entire second half for Valley City. Outside of that, Brett, where Burchell was out. Freeze for a 3, no good. Burchell can't get it. Backs a foot, skidded, and almost was on the line, but able to pull down the rebound nonetheless. Now Rutledge, transition 3, off the mark. Freeze with the board. Now Glant cycles back. Rose applying pressure. She's the only one. Now Potratz bringing the ball up. Rose comes in from behind to apply pressure. Nielsen gives it back to Potratz. Potratz wheels it high to Maddie Freeze. 2.5 to go. They find Potratz inside by herself. Clobbered from behind, but no foul. But they give her the 2 points anyway. Now down the floor goes Brianna Rose. That looked like an obvious and 1. They don't call it though. Rose inside. Rolls a pass to Beck for a tie. Knocks it down. Every time the Royals have needed it, they've found 3 points at the bottom of the well. Back here to Potratz. We're with inside 2 to go. We're tied up 58-58 on the Sanford Health and Valley City scoreboard. Nielsen able to sneak free. Down the inside they go. Blocking foul on Beck. And Nielsen's going to the line. That's the 2nd foul on Beck. 5th foul on the Royals. Regardless anyway. And I believe we're going to have our media timeout coming up. So timeout brought to you by Valley City Chiropractors. Tied up 58-58. Valley City shooting 2 after this. Minute 45 to go here in our championship game. 58-58 tie. Sky Nielsen at the stripe, 4-2. Nielsen 9 points in this game. Takes a deep breath. Will bend down low. Foul shot up. Foul shot in. Free throw brought to you by Nodak Insurance, a Valley City agent Chris Quilbang. 59-58. Valley City in front now. Takes another deep breath, spins it in her hand. Foul shot up and in. 2 for 2 trip. So 2-point lead for Valley City, 60-58. Minute 40 to go in our ball game. They're going to give it to Scotty Beck. Now to Rutledge. Rutledge back to Beck. Valley City, they left open Beck or Rutledge. She doesn't take the 3 though. She'll back this out over to Talbot. Back here to Rutledge. Rutledge back to Talbot. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Rutledge lost the ball, Talbot lost the ball for a moment. Gets it back to Rutledge. Rutledge trying to drive inside against Glant. They kick this one out. Rose for a 3. Off the rim and out, but they get the rebound, but they don't convert the second chance. Ball underneath. Who's it on? Foul. Somebody. Talk to me, man. And it is going to be on South Prairie Max. And that is on Mickelson. That is her 4th. Sky Nielsen at the stripe. Minute 15 to go. Huge foul shots coming up here. You'd like 4 because every time, you like 2 because every time South Prairie's needed a 3, they've got it. Nielsen spins it in her hand, puts it up, and rattles it home. Nodak Insurance, the Valley City agent Chris Quilbang sponsoring our 3 free throws today. The biggest foul shot, perhaps, of Sky Nielsen's career coming up. Spins it in her hand. Puts it up and in. 4-point lead, 62-58, 1:14 to go. South Prairie, 2 timeouts left, and they travel! Scotty Beck traveled! Now with 1:09 to go, South Prairie, they got to be selective about who fouls. If they foul, Potratz with the ball. You got to imagine that's who they want to foul. Now they get it to Nielsen. Nielsen's holding on to it. Back here to Glant. Glant draws a reach-in foul on Rose. That'll be Rose's third. They got to be selective because almost everybody for South Prairie Max is in foul trouble. Rutledge, Beck, Rose, Mickelson, all with at least 3 fouls now. Glant at the stripe for 2. Foul shot out. Foul shot in. It's a 5-point game, excuse me. 58.1 seconds. Glant puts it up and rattles it home. Free throws brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City agent Chris Quilvang. And timeout taken by the Royals. So Valley City leads by 6. 58 seconds to go. Timeouts brought to you by Valley City Chiropractors. Back after the break. 64-58. 58 seconds to go. Got to imagine Valley City's willing to give up 2s, but not willing to give up 3. South Prairie Max rolls the ball in. It'll be picked up by Talbot. They're going to go out here to Rutledge. Rutledge pulls it down. Now back to Beck. Beck going inside. And it's a reach and foul in Valley City, and that's not a bad foul to take if you're Valley City. It stops South Prairie Max from getting a blow-by shot, and also you foul them before the shot goes up. It's only your 4th. The next foul, though, will put South Prairie Max in the bonus. Now they go inside to Rose. Rose beat Burchell to the spot, and she'll get 2 shots. Brianna Rose has been heroic, to say the least, in this quarter. Their team needs 2 free throws right here. 49.2 seconds to go. Foul shot is up and in. Rose 2 of 2 from the stripe. She had a monster and 1 to put South Prairie Max up by 3. That free throw up and in. She's 3 of 3. And they call lane violation. Lane violation on South Prairie Max. So wipe off the free throw. Well, keep the deficit at 5. Over now to Katie Burchell. Burchell having to deal with pressure. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Katie Burchell. And Jimmy Howard's in disbelief. Jimmy Howard saying they run over her from behind and you call that? So Katie Burchell comes through and, it's just the worst call you could imagine. It doesn't put South Prairie at the line, but it certainly saves their bacon. Valley City fans are not happy. They need to stop here. They can't worry about potentially not getting a 50-50 call. They need to stop. But they allow Talbot to get loose for 3. No good. Long rebound. Maddie Freeze has it. She's got to avoid a turnover. They get it to Burchell. Burchell wraps up. Now it's a free throw shooting contest. It is a free throw shooting contest with 35 and a half seconds to go. South Prairie Max with 1 timeout. Katie Burchell at the stripe. 4-2. Foul shot for Burchell is up and in. 65-59. 35 and a half to go. It is up and in. 2 for 2 trip. Nodak Insurance Valley City agent Chris Quilvane bringing you the free throws. Now here comes South Prairie back down the floor, trailing by 7. They need a bucket. They need one quick. They go to Beck. Beck, step back 3, off the mark. Long rebound. Glant on the deck, fighting for it. Jimmy Howard, he gets a gift of a timeout in. He gets a gift of a timeout. I'm not sure Valley City had full control of that ball. And the reason why that's a big deal is arrow favors South Prairie Max. It was a good effort by Glant. Jumps on the ball to get possession with quotations, but Jimmy Howard certainly thankful to get that timeout. Timeout brought to you by the Valley City Chiropractors. Again, usually some refs, they want to see a hand or two on the ball. They want to see possession. You see someone laying on top, but you kind of still think it's free game sometimes. But, again, that's a big one because it keeps the arrow from giving the ball back to South Prairie Max. With 24 and a half seconds left to go, it just comes about execution. It just becomes about execution. Pass here to Potratz over to Nielsen. Nielsen gets bumped. Potratz does a good job to get that pass away. Again, if you're picking somebody to foul, if you're South Prairie Max, it probably is Potratz. So Sky Nielsen back to the stripe here. Did not score in that last quarter. She has been brilliant here in the second half. In the first half, she did not score. Second half, otherworldly, potentially. So now Rutledge steps up. That'll be the fourth foul on Rose. Nielsen takes a deep breath. Foul shot is up. It's eerily quiet, and she still knocks it down. Jimmy Howard still barking out orders. He knows his team still has to close things down. 67-59. Foul shot is up and in. A 2-for-2 trip. Free throws brought to you by Nodak Insurance of Valley City. Agent Chris Quilvang. 20 seconds left to go. Rose throws up a Hail Mary shot. No good. Burchell's got it. Able to fight off the initial steal attempt. She's getting mugged inside. And then the whistle blow. Yes, it did. And Burchell's got a Cheshire Cat grin ear to ear. Valley City, they're going to do it again as everyone prepares to storm the court. So 68-59. They're getting ready to storm the court here in Jamestown. Katie Burchell is looking on at the happiest student section she can possibly see. South Prairie Max makes a substitution. Burchell's foul shot is up and in. This is incredible for Valley City. 69-59. A insane run for Valley City. With 12.6 seconds to go, and they'll make a substitution. And now it's going to be, I believe, Rylan Johnson checking into the game. Sky Nielsen's going to check out. There is ever such a thing as a winning player, it would be Sky Nielsen. In the biggest moments, she comes up clutch. Basketball, tennis, doesn't matter. Put it on her shoulders, and she will deliver. And Katie Burchell at the stripe. The final score is now going to indicate how close this game was. Foul shot up. It is off the top of the backboard. No good. That's the first miss for Valley City at the stripe this quarter. So now here come the Royals. They'll chuck up a three with Gunville. She'll knock it down. Valley City doesn't even have to inbound the ball, but they will just so they can hold on to it. And the Highliners, who were down to their final 25 seconds of the season, come back and take another Class A state basketball title. An unbelievable moment for this Valley City team. They were down with 25 seconds to go against Carrington in the play-in round and came back to win. And they have run through the most challenging gauntlet perhaps ever for a team to win a state title. Going through top 5 Carrington, a former state champion in Devil's Lake, going through top 2 Thompson, going through South Prairie Max, and they will storm the court in Valley City, and the title stays with the Highliners. We'll be back here with our post-game show right after this break. We'll hear from some of our great sponsors. Welcome back, everyone, to the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. Valley City, your state champion, 69-62. Back-to-back state champions. They went 15-16 at the stripe in the fourth quarter from not having a 1-for-2 trip the entire, or a 2-for-2 trip the entire game, to going 15-16. And this is the team that went 8-18 against Central Cass, and that's probably a chunk of the reason why they lost. But this is the heart of a champion. You got to knock the champ out. They were wobbled. Don't get me wrong. They were wobbled. They were wobbled. They were down. They had to take multiple standing 8 counts. They were bloody. They were battered. They were bruised. They were down on the cards. And they came back to win. This is a Heck of an organization, heck of a team, heck of a group. Highliner fans are invited to escort the team back to town and gather for a celebration at the Highliner Activity Center following the team's return to town after the game. So, for all you listening out there, get there quick. You get to beat the rest of these people that have to drive 40 minutes. You get to beat me. I got to write the article. So, again, celebration at the Highliner Activity Center on the way back. This is quite the feat this team has accomplished. We'll get now to our all-tournament team. It's Katie Burchell, Sky Nielsen for Valley City. South Prairie, it's going to be Scotty Beck, Brianna Rose, Thompson, Addison Sage, Kaya Hurst, Liza Trimbeth, and Sierra Nipstead for Kindred. Lauren Dahl for Hazen, Avery Sancher for Rugby. So Valley City, a couple players onto the all-tournament team. Maddie Freeze, great tournament for her. 2 of the games she finishes in double figures. Dakota Potratz, 3 points in this game, but her defense. The thing you were concerned about was that even though that Greta Govin only scored maybe 4 points a game for this team, that defensively you didn't have the anchor you could place on somebody and hold them to half their total. Dakota Potratz stepped up in this game. She sacrificed individual stats to play defense in this game, in my opinion. She played a calm, cool, composed game. Scotty Beck was held to 15 points. Brianna Rose was the hero up until she wasn't. She had 17 points. She was phenomenal. Maya Gunville with 9, knocked down a 3. But this is a group of seniors that for years and years and years, this program also for years and years and years, got their teeth kicked in by programs that were 3 times their size and had 3 times their resources. And eventually go to a 3-class system. And there's a lot of people that are going to say that this was a system designed to essentially give Valley City a state title. It's other nonsense. You want to know why it's other nonsense? Valley City is a small school. It's now under the Class B enrollment technically as well. When you write a postcard, you have to title it the Valley City. When you want to write a postcard to someone at the South Prairie Max School, you got to sign it Minot. Valley City is Valley City. Minot is Minot, and Valley City is the one that comes out on top. This team wins not because they beat up on lesser competition. They win games because they are coached by one of the best coaches in the state, even if nobody wants to admit it. Even if nobody wants to admit Jimmy Howard is one of the best coaches in the state, he is one of the best coaches in the state. He doesn't simply throw the ball out to 2 players and say, go carry me. That's not his strategy. He is a fantastic coach. And again, he might not win Coach of the Year because you know what? He was supposed to win this year. But his team wasn't supposed to win 2 years ago. They weren't supposed to win last year. They weren't supposed to win a state championship by all the expert analysis this year. Will he be named Coach of the Year? I don't know. I don't think he really cares at this point. Because of the 2 Coach of the Year awards he could have, he'll just look down and look at his 2 state championship rings and smile and shrug and move on. And our state tournament MVP is going to be Katie Burchell. I had the list ahead of time, folks. I wanted to save the surprise. So Katie Burchell is your tournament MVP. Waiting for getting the final line score here. Katie Burchell finishes 1 rebound shy of a double-double. 28 points, 9 rebounds. So that snaps a 5-game double-double streak in the state tournament. But I think she'll let 1 rebound go for 2 state championship rings. 28 points for Katie Burchell, 12 and 9 from the stripe. Again, Valley City 15 of 16 from the stripe in the fourth quarter. They shot 23 of 31 from the line as a team. South Prairie Max, every time they needed a 3, they found one at the bottom of the well. They went 10 of 35 from deep. They were very good. South Prairie Max is a hell of a team, and to be quite honest, they shouldn't have canned the coach that got them here in the first place. Not because their new coach in McIver is any less of a coach than the one they had, or isn't a good coach. Simply because that South Prairie Max was never the best team. You see, Valley City went in knowing this was going to be a fight the entire year. They knew it was going to be a fight the entire year. They were not expecting – they had the goal of winning the state title, but they never felt like the state title should have been their birthright. And when you think the state title is your birthright, you make rash decisions. So Senior Athlete of the Year being announced. Take the headset off real quick. It is going to be Addison Sage of Thompson. Well deserved for Senior Athlete of the Year. I talk a lot about my experiences in Grafton. It's what I can pull upon. Olivia Dick was the player that scared the daylights out of a team that had 2 future Division I players on it in Class B, the old 2-class system that won games routinely by 50-plus points. Olivia Dick was the one that scared the daylights out of that team. Addison Sage, I got to say, puts the same fear into you. She is that good of a player. So, well-deserved award for Addison Sage. So, I believe we're announcing Coach of the Year right now. So, let's see what we got. And it's going to be Jason Brent Thompson. You can see the entire bench for Valley City go. What do we got to do? 2 state championships isn't enough. And nothing will ever be enough for Jimmy Howard. Jason Brent's a hell of a coach. I just want to know what Jimmy Howard has to do. Because when his team's supposed to win, he can't win the award. When his team is not supposed to win, he can't win it. When his team's supposed to win, he can't win it. Again, for as much as supposedly this whole thing is rigged for Valley City, we do a very crap job of giving awards out to Valley City for it. And I will give this to Jason Brin. He is going down the entire Valley City bench and high-fiving the players. Shakes Jimmy Howard's hand. He's a class act, and you hope one of these days he gets his state title, and you prefer it's not going to be against Valley City or having to go through Valley City to do it. But he's a hell of a coach. The way he goes about his business versus, let's say, how others go about their business is night and day. So now Valley City will take their trophy home. And again, if you missed it the first time around, Highliner fans are invited to escort the team back to town and gather for a celebration at the Highliner Activity Center following the team's return to town after the game. Again, so line the streets of Valley City leading up to the Highliner Activity Center and welcome home your 2-time defending state champions and a senior class of girls that have given everything to this program. They came into this program expecting probably to get their teeth kicked in, the majority of the time of not, because of where they were before. And now they're 2-time state champions. Maddie Freeze, Katie Koka, Dakota Potratz, Rylan Johnson, Kaylee Nielsen, Kinley Suffolk have given everything to not only this basketball team, but to this athletic department. This is a team that got to the finals in volleyball as well. These girls sacrifice their time, their bodies, their health, their well-being to play for the loyal fans of the Highliner Nation. And, again, deserve a hero's welcome when they come home. I got to take a quick pause so I can go get a picture for all y'all fine folks. Keep it right here on KOVC. Welcome back, everyone, to the Voice of the Valley, KOVC. So I got the picture for you fine folks. Right up, might be a little delayed getting out here. Jimmy Howard wants to celebrate this moment with his team, and I am going to let him celebrate this moment with his team. Unbelievable performance today from Valley City, 69-62. They gave up a 9-2 run to start that fourth quarter. South Prairie Max moved in front, take that lead, and Valley City, again, they have been down at points this season. Again, they're down to their final 8 minutes against Wahpeton, down by 14. The eulogy was pretty much being written, and all that we were waiting for was the final 8 minutes to roll so we could hit print.
And they did what not many teams do. They fought back and won. They fought back and played their best quarter of the season, won 27-8, got to the state playing round. Then after a really good performance against Carrington, let it slip away in the last minute and a half of the game, down to their last 25 seconds. Ireland by 2, and the big-time player stepped up to be a big player. And Katie Burchell hits an and one to win the game. And then you get down to this point. It's your final 8 minutes, and it don't start well. You start down on the rotten side of a 9-2 run. Then at the stripe, Valley City did what they had to do. You know, the thing is they never stopped going inside. They never stopped pounding away inside. They drew foul after foul after foul. And eventually they started to go in. 15-16 for the Highliners from the stripe in that final frame. Katie Burchell, 12-19 in the game, 28 points, 9 rebounds. She drew 11 fouls in the game, and the thing for Valley City is they limited turnovers. 12 turnovers in the game. For them, that's an insane number. So 12 turnovers, 14 assists. Valley City rarely has the positive assist-to-turnover ratio in games like this, but they did today. Defense, you know, it's like I said, they were going to have to get to 60. They're going to have to get to 60 because I just didn't think South Prairie Mac's a team that has size, they can shoot, they can do everything. There's not one thing you can clamp down on. And it was hard for Valley City to stop them, but it was also hard for South Prairie Mac to stop Valley City. Riley Rutledge, 16 points, 7 of 14 shooting. Scotty Beck, 15 points, 5 of 11 shooting. Brianna Rose, 16 points, 7 of 15 shooting. I mean, Brianna Rose, I have the list in front of me. Essentially, South Prairie Mac's won. Scotty Beck was going to be named tournament MVP. And there's a reason I said what I said, is that if everybody could go back and redo their voting, it would have been Brianna Rose, who played well enough, in my opinion, to get on the all-tournament team, which she did. But it was just a heroic performance in the fourth, and, you know, we're asked to vote on this, you know, in advance. And what Brianna Rose did in that fourth quarter, I mean, it deserves to get remembered. But sadly, sometimes when you lose, you don't get remembered. But Brianna Rose, fantastic display. And, you know, it's heartbreaking in games like this because somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. And Valley City, they did just enough to win. They made the free throws when it mattered. They got enough stops to get through. Again, this is a group of seniors that came in to play basketball, not with the expectation that they were going to get a fair crack. The expectation was you're going to get your head caved in by schools with 3 times the students and 5 times the resources, and you're going to smile, shut up, and be happy about it. Finally, the playing field levels out into a 3-class system. And for as unfair, right, for as unfair and as rigged as this whole thing is supposed to be for Valley City, they were not ranked their first year in Class A to start the year. They were not ranked going into the state tournament that year either. They were, in fact, 15-11, 15-10, something like that. Valley City got seeded 7th in that year, and they upset the 2 seed. No one gave them a chance to do that either, but again, rigged apparently. Second year, despite being moments away from beating Devils Lake, the state champion that year, were not ranked to start the year, and were apparently so ill-equipped to compete with Devils Lake and South Prairie Max that they dropped from second-ranked team to third-ranked team when the state tournament came around. Apparently, that's how that was going to work. And then this year, bringing back nearly everyone on the state championship team, supposed to run the table. As soon as they picked up a loss, nope, never going to be better than South Prairie Max in the polls. And were dangerously close to dropping out when they had the rough stretch. For as rigged as all this is supposed to be, got to tell you what, doesn't seem that rigged to me. It just seems like the program's good. You can't be prouder of this team. Again, it's hard to get great players to come in when you feel like there's not going to be a chance to compete. And again, these players came into a situation where they knew they probably weren't going to be able to compete. And they stuck with the program, and they turned things around very quickly. It's a golden generation for Valley City, and runs like this don't come around very often. So you need to celebrate these type of moments. And again, there's going to be a celebration over at the Highliner Activity Center
following the team's return. So make sure you line the streets of Valley City to welcome back your two-time defending state champions. This team is just, and again, talking about my Grafton experience, the state champion that I covered in Grafton, they didn't really take joy in winning, and not because they were arrogant or stuff like that, but they knew the only goal that season was a state championship, so them winning in the regular season didn't mean much. And it was very businesslike, very corporate in a sense until they got that final win. For Valley City, you can feel the passion, you can feel the heart and soul that goes into every game, that goes into this fan base's support of this team, and it was a great crowd that turned out today. You can say the crowd was worth 7 points. Maybe it was. But ultimately, this is a community effort. Again, like I said, people are going to moan and complain and look at Valley City the last 3 years and say, move them up. Despite being smaller than Class B schools in enrollment, move them up. It's not because they have a great coach, great players. No. It's the fact that they have 10 more girls to pull from than we do on average. Yeah, that's the reason why. It's not coaching, it's not players, it's not fan support, it's not community. It has to be the extra 10 to 5 girls that are capable of playing basketball that make the difference. I don't know what else to say. It's a great team. It's a great team. And, no, they're going to have a chance to do it next year. They lose a lot of pieces. They lose a lot of pieces next year. They lose a lot of depth. But you return Katie Burchell. You return Sky Nielsen. You got Mariah Fries and Kinsley Glant coming back, too. And they proved that they were not afraid of the moment. Kinsley Glant, 5 points in this game. Mariah Fries, 5 points as well. They were not afraid of the moment. They're going to have to step up into a bigger role. But to say that this team is not going to be thought about as a potential three-peat champion would be a dishonest truth. But what is the truth is that this team is the best in North Dakota. It is the absolute best in North Dakota, even if nobody wants to believe it. Even if nobody wants to rank them number one, even if nobody wants to give them the credit they deserve, if nobody wants to give their coach the credit he has rightly deserved for the past 3 years and has been passed over for 3 years. Despite all that, this team succeeds, and they succeed because of the belief in themselves and the belief that this entire community puts around them. I want to thank you all for tuning in for this girls' basketball season. Again, this is my team. I know I can get worked up sometimes. I know I can get passionate. Maybe it doesn't all come out in the best way it's supposed to, and professionalism when it comes to broadcasters and whatnot. This is my team. I care deeply about how this team does, from basketball to baseball to football to softball to volleyball to tennis. I care about how this athletic program does because this is my team's, and I want them to succeed. And every single one of you care about these teams too. And again, I am so proud to be, I don't know if I can call myself an official Highliner yet. I don't know if there's some type of test or sacrifice ritual I got to go through. But even if it just means I'm an honorary Highliner, I am proud as hell to be a Highliner. So thank you all for tuning in today. Valley City defends their state title 69-62 over the South Prairie Max Royals. Again, a reminder, get out to the Highliner Activity Center for the championship celebration and line the streets of Valley City to welcome your defending state champions home. Thank you all for tuning in today on the Voice of the Valley, KOVC.